Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the noise and, well, get to the heart of things. Today we're diving into travel watches, specifically one that's been making some quiet waves, the Timex Waterbury Traditional GMT. Our mission really is to figure out why this watch, based on the stuff we've looked at, is being called an affordable icon, especially considering Timex already has, a big presence in affordable GMTs. Apparently, there are some surprising features and pretty incredible value packed in here.
It's definitely an interesting one. Timex, I mean, they've been putting GMT complications in all sorts of watches for ages, right? You see them in dive watches, field watches, pilot watches. But what's compelling here from our sources is this idea that sometimes they're more classic time and date designs. Those are actually the winners. So yeah, this deep dive is really about focusing on the Waterbury Traditional GMT facts and insights from the material we have.
Okay, so let's jump in. There's this common idea, you see it written about a lot online, that the Q Timex GMT is like the Timex travel watch for every day. Loads of digital ink spilled on that one. But the core argument we're seeing here is that maybe this other option, the Waterbury, actually has it beat, which is interesting because the Q Timex got all the buzz. Why is that?
Well, it seems to boil down to the overall package and, crucially, the value. The Waterbury Traditional GMT, yeah, it's often been a bit overshadowed. It's a quartz watch, stainless steel case, nice classic geometric dial, and that two-tone 24-hour bezel. Dimension-wise, it's 40 millimeter. The bezel overhangs a tiny bit, so it wears maybe a touch larger than the Q Timex. But here's the real kicker, the detail that jumps out. The price during a recent Timex sale, it was, get this, $99.
Wow, okay. $99.
Yeah, less than half what the Q Timex is going for right now. That's a huge difference, even for Timex, which is already known for value.
That really is a statement on price. And speaking of things you don't expect, let's talk about maybe its most unique feature, this pusher. At 2 o'clock. A pusher just feels, really out of place on a standard GMT, doesn't it? What's going on there?
It absolutely does feel unusual, and that's where it gets really interesting functionally. When you tap that pusher, the little green arrow GMT hand, it just jumps forward 1 hour.
Huh. Just a quick tap.
Yep, and apparently it gives this really satisfying little click, a nice tactile feel. And if you hold the pusher down, the GMT hand just sweeps clockwise continuously.
Oh, okay. So for bigger jumps across time zones.
Exactly. Makes quick changes much faster than fiddling with a crown, potentially, which, contrasts with the standard crown operation for setting the main time and the date. It's also worth mentioning the crown itself is signed. It's got the Waterbury logo, and there's a neat detail. When you pull the crown all the way out to set the time, the GMT hand pops to midnight. But then when you push the crown back in, it jumps right back to where you had it set before. Pretty clever.
Okay, so that pusher isn't just a gimmick. It's actually a practical thing for travel. Makes setting that second time zone maybe quicker, more intuitive. That feels genuinely innovative for a watch that's, this affordable. But let's talk looks, because it's not just features, right? It's about nailing an aesthetic.
Indeed. And the Waterbury collection generally, it really leans into that mid-century design language. The Waterbury Traditional GMT specifically, it seems to absolutely nail that late 50s, early 60s travel watch vibe. It has that kind of understated class.
Yeah, looking at the details here, you can see it. This vertically brushed gray dial looks really sharp. And these hour markers, the triangles and circles, they're actually set into the dial and filled with lume. Nice touch. And the hands, minute, hour, GMT, they're these obelisk shapes, also filled with lume, but it's that faux-aged lume. The kind that looks like it's already got that lovely vintage patina. Really sells the mid-century feel.
Exactly. And that 24-hour bezel is crucial, too, both for looks and function. It's got the clear black and red halves, for AM and PM hours. The insert itself is aluminum, printed numbers, and it has that nice coin edge for grip. And like I mentioned, it slightly overhangs the brushed steel case, maybe by 1 millimeter. Just adds a little something visually.
Okay, so great features, classic looks. What about wearing it day to day? Let's hit the practical stuff and circle back to that value. It comes on either a brown leather or a gray fabric strap.
That's right. The sources specify the brown leather strap has a pin buckle and, importantly, quick-release spring bars. Makes swapping straps easy.
That's always good.
And the Grayton fabric strap also has a pin buckle, but with some nice leather detailing on it.
And water resistance.
A very decent 100 meters. So, yeah, perfectly fine for swimming, daily life, no worries there.
Which brings us back to that value point. It seems kind of central to this whole story.
It really is. Timex just has this enormous scale of production, right? And they use it to offer pretty amazing prices generally. So when those prices get discounted further, like this $99 sale price for the Waterbury GMT, well, it becomes almost too good to pass up if you're looking for a GMT. The source material makes a really strong claim here. It basically says this is undoubtedly the best dual time zone watch you can get for $100 when it's on sale.
Undoubtedly the best for $100. That's
Ah,
quite the statement.
it is a very powerful endorsement.
Wow. Okay, so wrapping this up, what a fascinating look at this specific watch. We've basically uncovered, well, a real gem, it seems, a Timex GMT with some genuinely surprising features, like that pusher, plus a timeless look, that mid-century cool, and all at a price that's, frankly, hard to believe right now. It really does show that sometimes the best stuff, most interesting finds, aren't the ones getting all the hype. They're just off the main path.
Precisely. And it leaves you with a thought, doesn't it? Given you've got this mixed classic design, a genuinely unique way to interact with the complication, and this almost shocking affordability, maybe consider, how does something like this make you rethink what entry level even means for a sophisticated watch? And maybe zoom out a bit. Does finding this kind of unexpected innovation, this value in a traditional brand, does that change how you look for value elsewhere in your life? Something to think about.